Hi, my name is John Lamb, and I teach English at the University of Kansas in the U.S. And I'm here to introduce to you my reading list for the Cambridge Shakespeare platform. I love the Cambridge Shakespeare platform because you have access to a huge set of resources in one place. And so I made a little reading list. My reading list focuses on the question of language. Shakespeare's language is his chief accomplishment as a writer of plays and poems. Anything you want to do with Shakespeare, you can get there through language. You kind of have to. And so I created this list to build a repertoire of knowledge by studying 6 plays along with the sonnets. The first play we get to is The Merchant of Venice, an accessible play, but a play that asks very serious and difficult questions, not only about religion and ethnic otherness, but also about the relationship between desire and economics. And so the play's language is a great place to start. Next, we'll come to 2 history plays, Richard II and Henry IV. They actually happen to represent the history they represent. One follows right along the other. So the guy who deposes Richard II in the first play is the king in the next play, Henry IV. And yet the plays could not be more different. They're very, very different in their style and their form and their dramatic action. And so it's a really fun way to create a contrast. Next, we come to the sonnets, which are, of course, a study in language. You kind of have to come up against the language of the sonnets in order to study them well. And so it's a great it's the heart in some ways of this reading list. Next up, you get my favorite Shakespeare play, Love's Labour's Lost, which is deeply, deeply self-conscious about its own language. It's a comedy, famously, that ends in fewer marriages than we would expect. And then we finish with 2 tragedies. Hamlet, which is in some ways plagued by its familiarity. And so this list tries to defamiliarize the language of Hamlet. And then we finish with Othello, which is, again, a great play, but a very difficult one and asks difficult kinds of questions. Every single one of these texts, I've picked 4 items, 3 Worlds of Shakespeare essays, along with a Shakespeare Survey article. And so that's the kind of anchor. The Shakespeare Survey article is the kind of anchor for each of the plays. If you click on one of these links, you can see there are links on the list. If you click on the links and log in with your institutional details, if your institution subscribes to the Cambridge Shakespeare, you should be able to have access not just to these items, but to anything in the Cambridge Shakespeare collection. There's a lot there. It's fun to peruse and enjoy. So I hope that you enjoy this reading list, and I hope that you enjoy making the most of the Cambridge Shakespeare collection.